And this is about Lula. So Lula has decided to give his opinion about Julian Assange and how he feels the US government is handling this. This is an important story because this leads into an upcoming event with President Biden in Australia. So for those who are not aware, President Biden is scheduled to go to Australia. And there's some news that I want to share about that in reference to Caroline Kennedy as well. But let's first get into this speech here from Lula. You'll have to read the subtitles here, guys. So here we go.
Que Deus te abençoe por essa pergunta, porque eu acho uma vergonha. Eu vou falar, inclusive, na frente do jornalista, porque isso vale para vocês e vale para mim. É uma vergonha que um jornalista que denunciou as falcatruas de um Estado contra os outros esteja preso, sabe, condenado a morrer na cadeia, e a gente não fazer nada para libertá-lo. É um negócio maluco. A gente que briga e fala em liberdade de expressão, direito de gritar, direito de... Ou seja, o cara está preso porque denunciou as falcatruas. E a imprensa não se mexe na defesa desse jornalista. Eu, sinceramente, não consigo entender. Não consigo entender. Eu até peço perdão, porque eu vou, quando chegar no Brasil, vou ligar para o primeiro-ministro, porque foi um assunto que eu esqueci de falar com ele. Eu já mandei carta para o Assange, já publiquei carta, já escrevi artigo sobre o Assange, mas eu acho que é preciso um movimento da imprensa mundial na defesa dele. Não é na defesa dele enquanto pessoa, é na defesa da liberdade de denunciar. O cara não denunciou nada vulgar. O cara denunciou que um Estado estava vigiando os outros. E isso virou crime contra o jornalista. E a imprensa que defende liberdade de imprensa não faz um movimento para libertar esse cidadão. É triste. É triste. Mas é verdade. É verdade. A gente precisa colocar nossas teorias na prática de vez em quando, para que a gente possa poder continuar falando em liberdade de expressão.
Okay. So it says here, Brazilian President Lula criticized the UK government for the imprisonment of Julian Assange and called it shameful. Lula, who was in London for the coronation of King Charles III, condemned the treatment of Assange and called for global action to free him. And this would be interesting to see if these countries that are part of BRICS will actually come together and decide to be the one to start that movement, because it's just not happening. Obviously, with the Biden administration, there are people in Congress who have, spoken out against the imprisonment of Julian Assange, but there are very few names on that letter that was started by Rashida Tlaib, and there should be more names on that letter. It should be bipartisan, actually, to be honest. But unfortunately, the voices are not loud enough coming from this end. Now, this piece right here, what he said, I just want to highlight one part here. Let me just put this here. Right here. This part.
Uma vergonha. Eu vou falar, inclusive, na frente do jornalista, porque isso vai...
He said, I'm going to talk in front of journalists, but he goes, because that goes for you and it's valid for me.
Vale para mim. É uma vergonha.
It is shameful that a journalist
que jornalista que denunciou
who denounced the misdeeds
as falcatruas de Estado contra os outros
of a state against the others is imprisoned.
Esteja preso, sabe, condenado a morrer na cadeia,
condemned to die in jail,
e a gente não fazer nada para libertá-lo.
That part right there, and we do nothing to set him free. That's the piece that I really want people to hold on to. I want you to hold on to that piece because it is absolutely ridiculous. Now, there may be some type of hope. Now, this is coming from Caroline Kennedy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Caroline Kennedy, she is an ambassador, and she is actually trying to push this effort in Australia because Joe Biden has a planned visit coming soon. So listen to this. Caroline Kennedy meets Assange supporters, fueling breakthrough hopes. So hopefully this is the way. A cross-party delegation of Australian politicians has met with U.S. Ambassador Caroline Kennedy to increase the pressure on the Biden administration to drop its pursuit of Julian Assange and to warn him of what's ongoing. I'm trying to blur out some words, sorry. And to warn the founder's ongoing incarceration risk undermining the U.S.-Australia alliance. Assange supporters feel heartened by Kennedy's decision to hold the meeting and are cautiously optimistic that momentum is building for a breakthrough on Assange's case as he continues to languish in London's high-security Belmarsh prison. So there's a picture of Caroline Kennedy there. Not sure if everyone is familiar with her. The highly sought after meeting comes at a pivotal moment, just a fortnight before Prime Minister Anthony Albanese hosts Joe Biden for his first presidential visit to Australia, and days after opposition leader Peter Dutton significantly shifted his rhetoric on Assange's case. So this is important. This is coming up. And it says that Kennedy hosted members of the Parliamentary Friends of Julian Assange group, Labour MPs Julian Hill and Josh Wilson, Liberal MP Bridget Archer, Independent MP Andrew Wilkie, and Green Senator David Shoebridge for a working breakfast on Tuesday at the U.S. Embassy in Canberra to hear their views on this issue. The delegation members stressed that while they had differing views on an array of political topics, they all agreed the case against Assange had dragged on for too long and he should be allowed to return to Australia. So there is that push coming from Caroline Kennedy. Now, Joe Biden does have a meeting that is scheduled, I think it's later at the end of this month. But I did see this video from Sky News that says now they're not really sure if he's going to actually go because of the issue with the debt ceiling that has not been, solved in Congress, because they're still fighting over the budget about the debt ceiling. So listen to this. But if they get that resolved, he should still be able to make it. Listen to this.
US President Joe Biden could be forced to cancel his upcoming trip to Australia if he is unable to strike a deal in negotiations on raising the debt ceiling. The president is due to leave Washington on May 17 for a G7 leaders meeting in Japan before flying to Sydney to meet Prime Minister Anthony Albanese at the Quad Leaders Summit. Mr. Biden says he is optimistic an agreement can be reached, but insists he will stay in the US capital if a solution is not found.
Somehow we got down to the wire and we still hadn't resolved this, and the due date was in a matter of when I was supposed to be away. I would not go. I would stay till this gets finished.
The US could default as soon as June if Congress cannot agree to increase its borrowing limit.
Okay, and we can stop it there because that part's not really relevant to the story. But the thing is, if Joe Biden is able to make it there, I do believe there will be Assange supporters, obviously protesting peacefully in some way, shape, or form, calling for his administration to act and go ahead and put in that request to free Julian Assange so that he is not extradited back to the United States and they send him back home to Australia so he can be with his family. And if you are in that area, for those of you listening and you're Assange supporters, definitely stay tuned for that. I'll give you guys an update. If he does not go, then it's most likely that Kamala Harris will probably have to go. Either way, the protest, I think, should still happen, whether it's him or if it's her. But the fact that you have Caroline Kennedy, who's a U.S. ambassador, she's on board for this. She's got other people, other MPs on board for this. This has gone on for too long. He does need to be freed. It's just a reality situation. This shit's gone on for too damn long. I'm just keeping it real. Let me go to some of the comments here. Randy, Sabby, been listening to your show while I do chores and take care of sick kids, but I had to get on the chat and say, this is great. Hashtag free Assange now. Yeah. And like Caroline Kennedy, whatever you think of her, you know, it is what it is, but at least she's right on this issue. Okay. She's right on this issue.